With recent regulations threatening the sale of silver-based supplements, now you can secure yourself and your family by producing your own silver solutions anywhere, anytime. You can have the peace of mind knowing that you can create endless supply of silver anytime, anywhere, for any application. The Silver Lungs Generator is a one-time purchase that requires no maintenance nor replacement parts for the life of the unit. This product was designed to be an invaluable part of your vital preparations. For a detailed report on the differences between ionic silver, colloidal silver, and what most silver solution manufacturers are producing, please visit our website at www.silverlungs.com for more information on why you should be producing your own silver solutions right from your home forever.
We have witnessed two terrible storms in the east, but we are still in the eye of the perfect storm. The most devastating economic conditions since the Great Depression, America's worst drought in agricultural history, and now the economic results of the presidential election. This perfect storm is a huge threat to everyone's food supply. I just doubled down and got even more supplies from eFoods Direct, and I recommend you do the same. It's time to get your own supply from eFoods Direct. I know I won't be standing in a bread line trading my freedom for food. I'm taking control of my future, and you're nuts if you don't do the same. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find the specials. And you can start with a holiday gift pack that's normally $80, now under $50. Remember, I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Would you rather prepare 6 months too early or 1 day too late? 409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. This man wants your guns. That is the cover of the 60-page glossy magazine, jam-packed with information. The December issue of InfoWars Magazine. InfoWars Magazine gives you a powerful tool to reach out to friends and family and neighbors and people in your community with the message of liberty. Give a gift subscription to your local police department. Give a gift subscription to your local state house, to your pastor. This is the perfect tool. 12 of these delivered to the door of the institution, groups, and individuals that you want to influence and wake up. Sign up for the free digital e-version at Infowars.com/newsletter, and we send it out the week after the physical magazine goes out, or go to InfoWarsStore.com today and sign up for a subscription, give it as a gift subscription, or buy them in bulk with Ron Paul, the attack on the Second Amendment, the police state, the GMO takeover. It's all there and all available at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Get your subscription or buy the magazines in bulk today.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
Are leaving us at the end of the hour. I will go into the fourth hour that many stations do carry. It's not always live. It's a lot of times it's the first hour we broadcast, because I've got to do my review of World War Z. People kept saying, "Why aren't you reviewing this?" Well, I did go do research, and I did now go and look at some of the scripts and treatments that are online, and we know it's in the film. And I will do that. And it is a dehumanizing, eugenics, UN world government promotion, Agenda 21 brainwashing vehicle. And so we have the plot. I will give you a review coming up. I'll also premiere this piece we did on J.P. Morgan in the next hour. Now, by the way, we're getting hammered with calls and everything else. It's the craziest thing, and it's a very small part of our audience. But when you got 3 million listeners every day over 3 to 4 hours, there are some people that hear you wrong, or maybe I'm not a good communicator. But I saw on the YouTube video last night where I was talking about the magazine yesterday, people said, "Why is he attacking Ron Paul?" Because it says, "This man wants your guns," and it's clearly Obama. And then above it, it says, "Complete Ron Paul farewell address inside." And there's now a new thing that I'm attacking Ron Paul. I mean, so, no, it's Ron Paul's speech, folks. It's not attacking Ron Paul. And I know most of the audience knows that. And I said, I'm going to print 100,000 Infowars.com bumper stickers, and I'm going to give them out free next month. We're designing a new sticker where we've got to get it printed, and then you can buy them right now in bulk at cost at InfoWarsStore.com. But I am going to print 100,000 and even pay the shipping to ship 500 to whoever emails us and pledges to hand them out to people and to stick them up in legal and lawful areas. That means like on the side of your barn or on your car or if a shopkeeper says you can. We do not want people to put them on private property because then they can demonize us with that. But the point is, 100,000 of them. We're going to print them next week. We probably won't have them to the first of the year. That's not yet. Not yet. Not yet. And I'm not attacking Ron Paul. It's his farewell address, I promise. Here, let me show you. Oh, man. See, Ron Paul, farewell address. And it's on that page, and it opens up as a poster with his image made up in the words. And then it's even on the back page here, the whole incredible speech. And that was my next point for you guys. Tom Woods, what did you think? Well, first off, with what Ron Paul's done in education, what countless others have done, the lensing effect, the chain reaction, the exponential growth that's now happening. That's why the globalists, I believe, are moving so quickly. What do you and Jason make of the nullification becoming discovered as the rightful remedy, as the film is called? And what did you think of Ron Paul's farewell address 2 weeks ago?
Well, let me tell you, I think these two things actually tie together, because if you had told me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that we would actually be talking about nullification, I would have wanted to believe you, but I just wouldn't have believed it, because nullification is not considered something the New York Times wants us to talk about. And yet here it is. I mean, when I wrote the book Nullification in 2010, I wrote it because I noticed all these grassroots groups around the country were getting interested in it. Some of them had seen some talks I'd given on the subject, but I gave those talks as a historian. I didn't think I was going to be giving these talks about current events, that suddenly people are grabbing onto this. That's very exciting. And the thing is, I've had a lot of my books have gotten really nice blurbs from Ron Paul. I had a foreword by Ron Paul in one of my books. But for nullification, I knew he was probably going to run for president, so I didn't ask him to endorse that book because I thought, that's a very controversial position, state nullification. He's got enough baggage as it is. I don't want to burden him. And then he goes out on the campaign trail and more than once embraces the idea of nullification. So, I mean, I guess I should have asked him in the first place. I mean, I shouldn't have thought so little of the guy. I should have known he's a truth teller, come what may. So, yeah, so I thought the speech was great, but the very fact that a congressman gives a farewell speech and it's covered and talked about, it gets all around the country. Most congressmen end their careers in complete obscurity. But it just goes to show the fact that he's basically a superstar. You can't not cover him.
And Tom, I would imagine, you know, the inside baseball. This is just the beginning of Ron Paul's career. Do you know about the big 3 announcements he's getting ready to make?
I might have a little bit of a sense of it, but I haven't talked to him about them. I know them one level removed, but I'm not totally sure.
Well, no. It's going to be pretty exciting. I just know some of the general stuff. And so we're going to be hearing a lot more from Ron Paul. I'm so sick of learning stuff and then not being able to tell people about it. It's like,
I'll tell you one thing. It's not going to be, let's get out there and endorse some guy who's with us on 12% of the issues. It's not going to be that type of activity. It's going to be hardcore. This is our message. Take it or leave it. And I'm not backing down. It's going to be that. It's going to be a 100 octane Ron Paul.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't seen nothing yet. Can we go out to break with that? You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I think we've got it in the. We'll play the last 30 seconds or 40 seconds of this. Of going out to break with that. Well, I'm here. You know, I got a million questions I could ask. What do you make of? Speaking of Rand Paul, obviously I know Rand Paul. You know Rand Paul. He's a good guy. He has gone a little bit towards the establishment, I guess, to get ready to run for president in 4 years. He's now admitted that. But he is trying to get rid of the NDAA and do a lot of stuff. I think if he would have fully taken on his dad's mantle, there would have been no stopping him, George Washington type stuff. But, you know, as they say, a lot of sons end up wanting to go their own way. Both of you, what's your take on Rand Paul?
Well, I think that, I think Rand is good that he's out there doing what he's doing. I think he's taken a stance on a few issues very strongly. So I think he has come out on issues like the TSA, and he's out there on NDAA.
Marijuana, states' rights.
Absolutely. So I really think, I tend to be pretty big tent about some of these things because I say, look, it's a win for victory. It's a win for liberty if we can try to attack these things at any level that we can. I'm not somebody who thinks that Rand Paul is going to be the next Ron Paul, but I do understand that we need individuals who can navigate if they're going to be in politics, they've got to navigate the political machine. I have no idea what that.
I know, but I mean but that machine is so shot. He should be there pointing out it's the Titanic, so everybody goes to him when it goes under. I mean, I'm just telling you, his dad knows what he's doing. Not as from a moral perspective. When something is so evil, you want to fully distance yourself with it. I mean, when you get in a latrine, you don't clean it up. It gets all over you.
Absolutely, and so I think that to the degree that Rand Paul can speak the hardcore message of Ron Paul, I mean, Ron Paul changed my life. It's why I'm here right now. I wrote a book called Ron Paul, Father of the Tea Party. It's a biography of Ron Paul. I love the man. I love his no compromise stance, and that's the only reason millions and millions of people got behind him.
And let's be clear, Rand Paul is great and an ally, and I agree with 95% of what he's doing. It's just the missed opportunity, and I know we're influencing him, because I know when I talk about this, it's having an effect. We need to say, hey, we think this is important. We think more hardcore, not less hardcore. That's how you beat the Republicans and the Democrats in that Senate race. Tom?
Well, you know, I of course, I'm sure you guys would agree with me. I wasn't happy with the Romney endorsement and certainly the willingness to go out and give speeches for Romney and a lot of this stuff. And then sometimes I see Rand Paul on TV and he's saying, yeah, I guess I could go along with closing loopholes or whatever. You know, and sometimes it sounds like it's one thing to say, I have to express the liberty message in a way that'll resonate with the Tea Party people. I'm okay with that. It's if you start talking like a DC Politico, I'm not okay with that. But on the other hand, if we compare Rand Paul to any of the old right senators or congressmen from the early 50s, if we compare him to Robert Taft, whom the Ron Paul people love Robert Taft, Rand Paul's much better than Robert Taft. He's a much better voting record.
Or even Barry Goldwater.
So, I mean, you know, I've been hard on him, but at the same time, I realize that I'm a lot easier on people who lived in the 1950s than I am on Rand Paul, even though he's better than all those.
But I think that's what it is, though.
Keep an eye on the guy. Don't let him get away with anything.
Sure, but that's it. It's when it's now, it's personal. You invest that this is going to be the new Rand Paul, and then it doesn't actually turn out like that. I think that's what they need to understand is that's what gets people, you know, a little hyped up. But I agree. Listen, here's the issue. What do you guys think about this hoax? Because there's clearly election fraud. Not that I'm saying Romney was good, but I call elections like I see it. Looked like there was fraud against Al Gore in 2000. Clearly fraud. Bev Harris, who's been a Democrat, clearly fraud against Romney. Clearly the fix is in, and they say the mandate is here for more socialism and everything Obama wants, he wants, when half the public didn't even vote. And this Republicans need to become more socialist now. That's how you win. And we need to legalize all the illegals. No, we ought to elect Hispanics who are constitutionalists to a great extent, like Cruz. We need to, but you can't take 600 million Latin Americans in and give them welfare. It's going to bankrupt the country. Again, that's something Rand's coming out going, well, we don't want Hispanics to think we're going to send them back to Mexico. Well, I mean, Mexico doesn't let other Latin Americans in or they would implode. I mean, we've got sinking third world despotic crime syndicates literally sinking, and now we could take 30 million illegals in this country. It'd probably be a boom if there was no welfare. But the problem is these people get on welfare, they become state clients, and when they become citizens, 91% of them vote to take my guns, Tom. What do we do about this?
Yeah, I think this is probably the hardest issue to sort out because there are dangers on both sides. On the one hand, an anti-immigration policy could spill over into all kinds of civil liberties problems that would be employed against the regular people, which is what winds up happening. People who have followed all the rules and everything, they wind up somehow always being the ones that the laws are enforced against. So I'm worried about a police state against immigration. But on the other hand,
you try to come here legally, it's almost impossible. And they harass you. You come here illegally, they leave you alone.
Right, you're right. But then on the other hand, like Jefferson and some of the founding fathers, they were against the idea of mass immigration from Europe because their view was these people are going to bring to the United States old world political ideas. These people don't even know how to live in a free society. They're going to have monarchical ideas. I don't want a whole bunch of these people in our society.
In fact, they kicked a bunch of Tories out.
So it's really tricky to decide exactly under these circumstances what the right position is on immigration. This is one that I'm frankly stumped on. I mean, I am very concerned about immigration. I think it is a big problem, especially with the welfare state. But on the other hand, when you fight against it, they're going to want ID cards, they're going to want chips, they're going to want all these other things that we don't want them to have. So it's hard to know exactly what to do.
No, you're right. Well, the bottom line is throw it back in their court. Okay, don't tell illegals from all over the world, come here and have your baby for free, and then you get to stay and you all go on welfare. And on average, you get $61,000 a year. That's the new federal numbers. That's ridiculous, and that's going to end. You know, they have federal websites, we've shown them, that tell people how to come